The distress beacon had been transmitting for 72 hours. Across the Galactic Council's emergency channels, the plea echoed through the void. A colony ship carrying 12,000 Vulcan refugees had suffered catastrophic engine failure near the Kepler expanse. Life support was failing. They had perhaps 4 days before the cold embrace of space claimed them all. The response from the Council was unanimous silence. The Kepler expanse was death, a graveyard of cosmic debris, rogue asteroids, and gravitational anomalies that had swallowed countless ships. No rational species would risk their vessels in such treacherous space for refugees, who weren't even their own people. On the bridge of her salvage vessel, the Persephone, Captain Elizabeth Chen stood with arms crossed, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the distress signal's origin. Her crew of 15 had intercepted the transmission during what should have been a routine debris survey. "Captain, we're not seriously considering this." First Officer Asher Malik's voice carried concern, not cowardice. He'd served with Elizabeth for 6 years, long enough to recognize the set of her jaw. "The Council fleet won't touch this. The Virian Imperium won't touch this. Even the damn Corthians won't touch this. And they're the ones who created half the debris field." Elizabeth turned to face him, her expression unreadable. "How many on that colony ship?" 12,000, give or take." Asher ran a hand through his close-cropped hair. "But Elizabeth, we're a salvage crew. We've got 1 ship, minimal weaponry, and exactly 0 experience with rescue operations on this scale. Then it's a good thing humans are excellent at learning on the job." She tapped the communications console. "Open a channel to the colony ship." Asher wanted to argue, but he knew better. Instead, he simply nodded and made it happen. The holographic display flickered, resolving into the terrified face of a Vulcaner species resembling upright, fox-like beings with luminescent markings along their necks. The creature's eyes widened upon seeing humans on the other end. "This is Captain Elizabeth Chen of the Persephone. We've received your distress call. Hold tight, we're coming for you." The Vulcan's translator struggled to keep up with its rapid speech. You're from Earth, the Deathworld." "But the Council said." "The Council isn't here," Elizabeth interrupted. "We are. Transmit your exact coordinates and ship specifications. We'll be there in 6 hours." After the transmission ended, Asher pulled up the navigational charts. "You realize this is insane, right? The debris field alone could tear us apart. And even if we get there, how do we evacuate 12,000 people with a ship designed for 20? Elizabeth was already moving, her mind 3 steps ahead. "We don't evacuate them, we repair them." She brought up the Persephone's cargo manifest. "We've got the fusion cores we salvaged from that derelict last month. Between those and our engineering team, we can get their engines functioning enough to limp out of the expanse in 4 days. In 2, we don't have 4. She met his gaze. "Asher, I need you with me on this. I need everyone with me." He stared at her for a long moment, then a slow smile crossed his face. "When have I ever not been with you?" He activated the shipwide intercom. "All hands, this is the first officer. Strap in and prep for hard burn. We're heading into the Kepler expanse for a rescue operation." "Yes, you heard that right. Captain's orders." The journey through the expanse was a nightmare of precision flying. Elizabeth piloted personally, her hands steady on the controls as she threaded the Persephone through gaps that seemed impossible. Asteroids the size of small moons drifted past their hull with meters to spare. Gravitational eddies pulled at their ship like hungry predators. The crew worked in shifts, preparing equipment, running simulations, and doing everything humans did best: adapting, improvising, and refusing to accept the word impossible. When they finally reached the Vulcan colony ship, it was worse than expected. The massive vessel was tumbling slowly, its hull breached in 3 places, emergency lights flickering weakly. "Asher, take a team across. I want those fusion cores installed and calibrated within 18 hours. Elizabeth's voice was calm, the eye of the storm. "Engineering team 2, start welding those hull breaches. Medical, prepare to treat hypothermia and oxygen deprivation cases. Move like you mean it." People, the human crew swarmed over the dying ship like ants, rebuilding their nest. They worked in conditions that made the Vulcan crew stare in disbelief, exposed to near vacuum as they welded hull plates, operating on minimal oxygen as they rerouted power systems, going 30 hours without sleep as they performed. Miracles of engineering with duct tape and determination. Asher worked alongside the Vulcan engineers, his hands steady as he integrated alien systems with human salvage. On Earth, he explained to a bewildered Velkan technician, we have a saying, it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. 26 hours after the Persephone arrived, the colony ship's engines roared back to life. Elizabeth stood on the bridge as the massive vessel began to move, limping but functional. The Velkan captain appeared on the view screen, tears streaming down its furred face. Captain Chen, your species, you came when no one else would. You risked everything for people you'd never met, in a place where you could have died 100 times over. Why? Elizabeth considered the question, then shrugged. Because you needed help, and we could provide it. That's reason enough. The galaxy calls your world a death. They say humans are dangerous, unpredictable, aggressive. A tired smile crossed Elizabeth's face. They're not wrong. We're dangerous to anyone who threatens the innocent. We're unpredictable because we don't give up when logic says we should. And yes, we're aggressive especially when standing between death and those who don't deserve it. She leaned forward. Get your people home, Captain. That's an order from one Deathworlder to a survivor. As the Persephone escorted the colony ship out of the Kepler expanse, Asher stood beside Elizabeth on the bridge. The council is going to hear about this. Let them, Elizabeth replied. Maybe next time, someone else will respond. But until they do, she looked at her exhausted, triumphant crew. Earth answers the call. In the depths of space, where no one else dared to venture, humanity had spoken. Not with weapons or threats, but with welding torches and fusion cores, with sleepless nights and stubborn hearts. The Deathworlders had arrived, and the galaxy would never be quite the same.